Hello everybody, welcome to the ScrapbookPal channel. This is Sandra Beus and today we're going to have a card tutorial and we're going to use the Hero Arts Autumn Branches cover plates. We also are going to use the Autumn Message Stamp Set, also from Hero Arts. So as you can see, this plate, it comes to different dies that you can cut them. I didn't cut it, I like to keep them together because that will give me the frame for my card. Like I said, you have the option to cut it apart or just keep it together, and I just keep it together for the frame of my card. We are going to use this Dries Oxide ink. This is the Wild Honey. We're also going to use the Right Permission, Fire Brick, and Dusty Concord. Those are colors that is going to give me a really nice color for my sunset that I was planning to do. Now I cut it twice the die because I wanted to have a shadow into my branches. I had the option to do it into the into the dark brown or also into the beige color that I cut the paper on. I also cut some circles in different sizes because I wasn't sure what size I was going to use to create the moon. I wanted to put a moon in my card, so that's why I have a 1-inch circle, 1.5 inches, and I think 1 3/4 inches. So according of the size that you would like to use, you can cut your circles. You can use dies or punches, whatever you have handy there. So I decided to pick the bigger circle, which is the 1 3/4 inches. So there I'm just positioning where I want it to be at. Now I suggest to use a repositional tape or something that is not going to be so sticky. I did use a glue dot and it wasn't really a good idea, but it's okay because at the end it did work out well for me. So you're gonna see me blending now these Dries Oxide inks. Now it could be a little bit intimidating to do this because the colors are very bright, but you will see the end result. I think it's very beautiful. I do love to create my own backgrounds and I love to blend some colors. I have to admit that I'm not an expert. I'm still new at doing this and it could take some time, and like I said, it could be kind of intimidated. But if you work on it, you will love the results. Now I really suggest to use always a very smooth cardstock. If it's heavyweight and a smooth cardstock is going to be much better for you to be able to blend it very nicely. And like I mentioned, just don't be afraid to go back and do the colors over and over. Now I start with the bottom. I start with the lighter color, the yellow color, and then I'm going up with the darkest one. So that's what you're going to see me doing here. Now there are different tools for you to be able to blend. This is one of the most common that I like to use, but there are other type of brushes that you could use. I'm going to link some of them for you guys to be able to try some of them, or at least if you have some of them handy, just I will suggest to just give it a try and start blending, and you will like it. I do have to admit that it could take some time to be able to blend the colors very well, and you may need to have patience. Personally, I do not have much patience, but I love the end result, and what I'm doing here is I am adding the last color, but you will see me going back to mix all the colors again because you will see some gaps there, but those gaps, it won't really matter at the end because the branches will cover everything. So about handmade craft, it doesn't mean that it has to be perfect. That is the beauty of doing a handmade craft. And these inks are very nice formulated. So somehow at the moment of blending, it is very smooth. And like I said, having a cardstock that are very smooth also helps. So it doesn't look perfect, but that's okay. At the beginning, I was kind of freaking out a little bit, but like I said, at the end of the whole project, I always love it. So we're gonna continue blending, and now I took my masking. Like I said, I used a glue dot, and it wasn't really a good idea, but that's okay because it gives me that texture of a moon. And I also use another Dries Oxide ink for the color of the moon. So my background is ready. Now we are going to glue the branches on top. So I had a little bit of hard time to know what color I like to be in top and what color to be the shadow. So I was playing back and forth, putting those branches, the beige on top of it, and then the dark brown on top of it. So I was just trying to figure it out what color would look better. So at the end, I make the decision that I wanted to have the dark brown because it just contrasts with my background. So having the dark brown actually makes my background pop a little bit more the colors than having the light branches. But now it's up to you. You can cut the branches on white color and color them yourself, or you can cut it in green, whatever it works for you. I wanted to do brown just because it will really make the contrast with my sunset background. I am using the the art glitter glue, which is a liquid glue that you always see me using in all my projects, and that will give me a little bit more time to wiggle if I need to move a little bit the branches and everything. And what I love about this is you really need to have the metal tip for the glues because that will give you the little fine tip to be able to put in those little thin branches. So that makes a difference and it doesn't look that messy. And normally I'm very messy with my glue, but this time I actually did very well. Something that I always mention is that I like this glue because it dries clear. Me always being messy with my glue, I think it is essential for me to have a glue that it dries clear. Otherwise my work will always look very messy. So this is how it's going to look. I think the moon gives a little bit extra to this background. Now I'm ready to pick my sentiments. This stamp set is it's just perfect for Thanksgiving, for the autumn messages. So I picked this one that I love what it said. It is a very appropriate sentiment that it says changes can be beautiful, and I totally agree. Especially now in this season, I love autumn. Is one of my favorite seasons because of the colors of the leaves and the trees and all the changes that happen in autumn. So this sentiment was perfect. So what I'm going to use now it's my Misty. I think also it was essential for me to use my Misty tool just because if I need to stamp it again it will always be in the same position and I don't have to worry about having a very fussy stamp image. So that the Misty is always good for these things. So I'm going to use a Memento Black Tuxedo ink and we're just going to stamp it there. We're almost at the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I just want to say thank you for all your support, and everything that I use is going to be in the description box below. So we are just going to put those branches into my card and we almost going to be done with this tutorial. And once again, this metal tip was a lifesaver for these intricate dies. So as you can see there, it just doesn't let me make so much mess, and even if I make a mess, it's going to dry all clear. So we are practically almost at the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for everything, for your support, and please enjoy the photo at the end. I'm just going to put some extra detail, which is those rhinestones I always love to put in my card. And I think that will be it with me for today. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the video and keep crafting.